Never have such silence. You are leaving. What do you see? It's not me. It's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are fighting in your head.
I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Welcome. I just invited a whole bunch of people. So normally, as I say every single week around this time, is when I get a chance to speak. Because what's going to happen is people are going to start trickling in, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the current issues in boxing today. So right now it is 2:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, April the 5th, 2015. I'm T Street Controversy with RealCombatMedia.com, and I cover every single major fight live. So today, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we had Artur Beterbiev versus Gabriel Campillo. You had Adonis Superman Stevenson, the WBC and ring 175-pound champion of the world, versus Sakio Bika. Then later on in the night, starting about 10 p.m., I paid $40 to see Gabriel Rosado versus Curtis Stevens, and Jesus Soto Carras versus I forgot his name. His first name Paredes, I believe his last name is. Anyway, it was called Big Knockout Boxing. BKB, it doesn't stand for big. It doesn't stand for big. Bare knuckle boxing. But what it is it's an alternative to boxing. So me being a boxing fan and of course, an advocate for the sport, I enjoyed the event, and it's something different for boxers to do when they're not competing for a title. For example, it doesn't affect their professional record, but yet it is professional boxing in a sense. So this week we have so much to talk about. We got to talk about, of course, we got to talk about the latest updates with Mayweather Pacquiao. We've got to talk about Sakio Bika, Adonis Stevenson, Artur Beterbiev. We got to talk about the purse bid for Adonis Stevenson versus Sergey Kovalev, which is going to be taking place April 17th. We got to talk about next week's fights: Danny Garcia versus Lamont Peterson, and Peter Quillin versus Andy Lee, or Andy Lee versus Peter Quillin, Errol Spence Jr. We're going to have to talk about Anthony Durrell versus Badu Jack, Amir Khan versus Chris Algieri. So what we're going to do is it's going to be a nice, calm night, and basically we're going to have a full show. I'm going to be here for about 60 minutes to about 120 minutes or more, and we're going to get a nice, solid debate going as far as making sure we're understanding and we're all in agreement, or even if we're not in agreement, we're all educating each other on what's going on in the sport of boxing today. So I'm trying to figure out where to start off at. Well, like I said, what's going to happen is people are going to start trickling in, so what I'll do is, since I got this time right now to myself, I'm going to start off with talking about what was the biggest fight of the day: Adonis Stevenson versus Sakio Bika. Adonis Stevenson, jab, left hand, jab, left hand, jab, left hand, jab, left hand. It's like this. I understand Adonis Stevenson has a shady past. I understand all that, but who doesn't? I understand. I like the guy. I like his personality. He's a funny dude. I'm this Superman. He's a funny dude, and he looks like a happy individual. Like as far as him turning his life around. So even though I do have Sergey Kovalev putting a fucking ass whooping on him, I do have Sergey Kovalev defeating him. Still, I don't feel as harshly about him as I did before. When he signed with, thank you, Al Haymon. I didn't cut off the eyes of Al Haymon. Sometimes when I'm looking like in the camera, he be looking at me. I don't be feeling right. Anyway, so of course Adonis Stevenson, he had that brilliant, fabulous 2013 where he was the fighter of the year. He had knocked out Chad Dawson, Tavoris Cloud, to Tony Bellew, and then somebody else, I forgot who was the first fight earlier that year. But then we saw him fight in 2014, Fonfara, who Fonfara was a very good fighter. I knew Fonfara was a very good fighter, but others didn't know, but still I knew. And he was underestimated to the point where Fonfara had a very good chance to defeat Adonis Stevenson if he would have started off a little faster. So when you look at the fact of when you look at the fact of next, he fought a guy by the name of Dimitri or Demi. It's not C, it's Dimitry. Dimitri Sakhutsky. And we saw what he did to him. Dude was like Captain Rosado. Dude was out here like this with it, like Shane, come on. And we saw he just got beat up. And we was thinking to ourselves, is Adonis Stevenson ever going to fight Sergey Kovalev? Even myself, I was questioning if he was going to drop his title or not because of if Haymon told him to. So I was thinking, well, it's the WBC. You just don't go around dropping no WBC titles. You get me? So if you don't know, once again, on April the 17th, there will be a purse bid. The interview is right here on the channel. Adonis Stevenson confirmed it himself that there's going to be a purse bid on April the 17th for Adonis Stevenson and Sergey Kovalev for the first undisputed bout since when I forgot what year Bernard Hopkins fought Jermaine Taylor. I can't believe I forgot, probably because it's late. But yeah, basically the first undisputed championship unification since then. Since they fought the first time, the second time, pretty much. I like the fact that it's happening in the fact that I feel personally, in my opinion, Haymon is going to win the purse bid, So it's like, well, if he's paying $1.5 million for James DeGale and $1.5 million to Andre Durrell, then why would he not pay for his WBC champion, and Sergey Kovalev? In fact, he would be doing Sergey Kovalev a favor as far as financially and as far as if it is on PBC, on CBS, or PBC on NBC, it would be a highly viewed fight as far as boxing. So put it this way. If we get boxing, put it this way, boxing fans and boxing media want Adonis Stevenson versus Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev has been bringing in 1 million views plus, phenomenal views on HBO. So imagine what he would do on national television. I'm thinking that's I'm thinking it's 4 million, especially with the Russian population. I'm thinking 4 million. As far as national television views. So it's a very, very big fight, and it would help Sergey Kovalev so much. And right now, it's all about who wins the purse bid. So if Haymon wins the purse bid, then it'll be something like Warriors Boxing or somewhere, whoever represents Adonis Stevenson, or if it's not Adonis Stevenson, he'll get somebody that's promoted by somebody, and then get the fight on the card, then get that promoter to promote the card. But overall, I'm finally glad that it's happening. So it's going to be happening sometime in September or October. I'm not seeing Kovalev versus Stevenson in August. I'm saying September or October, somewhere, around there. The next fight, Artur Beterbiev versus let me make sure let me make sure to see if any people up. The next fight is let me make sure people can join. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste that. Next fight is Artur Beterbiev versus Gabriel Campillo. What I'm going to do is since I actually have the time, I'm going to show you a highlight of the actual fight. I'm going to show you a highlight. So you can see for yourself. It's a short one, but still, for those of you who didn't see it, it's on the channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it right now, and go from there. So here we go. Hang in there. Give me a second. Give me a second. There we go. By the way, take this time to subscribe and share. As I said, more people are probably likely going to start to trickle in. You should be able to see that. And here we go. I don't know if you can hear sound, but I'm not going to turn the sound up. get that out of the way. So, see, I'm glad to be able to do stuff like that because I really do feel like if you can't watch a fight, because it's not available in your area, you should have somewhere to be able to go. For example, me, still in the United States, I have a hard time watching Sky Sports fights. And it's just like, like for real, it's like, why I got to go through, don't get me wrong, I do watch the fights, but it's like sometimes I think like, why do I got to go through so much to be able to watch these fights sometimes? It becomes a pain in the ass a little bit. People want Artur Beterbiev already. They're talking about him versus Kovalev, and he does says they're both Russian. He does want Kovalev, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, well, why would that fight make sense? Right now. Also, I forgot, Sergey Kovalev has to fight a mandatory this summer. So the Adonis Stevenson fight will probably happen in probably late September or October or something like that. I forgot to throw that in there. But there's fights for Artur Beterbiev. For example, what is Al Haymon going to do with Lucian Bute? Now, if you didn't know, Al Haymon signed Lucian Bute, Marcia Al Haymon. What you notice with the Al Haymon plan is when he signed you, you got the upper tier Al Haymon guys and you got the lower tier Al Haymon guys. Now, let me explain it to you. You got guys like Jose Zito Lopez, Luis Collazo. Who else? I'm trying to find somebody, maybe a Sakio Bika right now, to whereas in the upper level, Al Haymon guys are guys like Andre Berto, Adonis Stevenson, and I believe Lucian Bute is going to be up there too because Lucian Bute makes a lot of money. So I don't see him putting them against Lucian Bute. For example, maybe somebody like a Tommy Karpinski. Remember, that's the dude who beat Chad Dawson last, for a Lucian Bute or a Artur Beterbiev. So he's only 8-0 with 8 KOs. Yes, he's moving in an accelerated route as far as he's fighting Gabriel Campillo with only 7 wins. Remember, he fought Tavoris Cloud with only 5. So he's on an accelerated path, but at the same time, Al Haymon is not going to just throw him in there with a undisputed guy, an undisputed champion, whoever that winner is, Sergey Kovalev or Adonis Stevenson, in his next fight or in his next maybe 2 or 3 fights, in my opinion. He's still going to keep bringing him up. So he is a good fighter, very strong, physically strong. You look at him, he's ripped and he's intimidating. And watching him in the future, for example, he's more skilled than Adonis Stevenson to me. So when I'm talking about Beterbiev, but would he beat Adonis Stevenson? Why would I do that to him when he's still, I'm one of those type of boxing fans, just like when a person is a prospect and not fully a contender yet, even though fans may think they are, I don't go putting them in there with contenders. You get me? I don't go saying, oh, this guy can beat this guy and this guy can beat this guy, and he should fight him. Like, for example, another situation with fighter Anthony Joshua, which we'll talk about later on. But once again, if you don't know, I'm T-Street Controversy with RealCombatMedia.com. I cover every single major fight live. And today was a pretty good overall day in boxing, and I ain't gonna lie, I started my day a little down, I lost my wallet, and then I went to Danny Garcia's gym, Danny Garcia media workout. Somewhere along there, I lost my phone. And of course I have, with what I do, I have, multiple phones, but, still losing a phone is expensive, regardless. So, I was a little down and everything, but shout out to Kevin Hill and Chris Alexander for helping me out. And, boxing, like, the PBC on CBS card, for example, it was, I enjoyed it. Now, it's a shame that I was up here for weeks. I did about 7 or 8 videos on Adonis Stevenson versus Sakio Bika. And I'm talking about me personally. I did a lot of videos on it. And it's crazy that I was telling people it's going to be a midday card. It's going to be 3 p.m. And people just said, I was seeing a lot of comments on one of my videos. People saying, I didn't know this was coming on. And when is the Stevenson versus Bika fight coming on? And I've been telling people for the longest, it's a midday card. I'm actually interested to see how the ratings are going to look, for it to be a midday card, because I noticed it wasn't really too much buzz around this fight. And also, Bika was an underdog. Even though I gave him a chance, he was an underdog. So going in, so a lot of fans were looking at it like, oh, well, this is a typical Al Haymon fight. Oh, by the way, thank you, Al Haymon. This is a typical Al Haymon fight where you got a guy like Adonis Stevenson going against an undermatched opponent, a small guy in Sakoa Bika, and you saw the power difference. And even if you look at the boxers, you saw how much bigger that Adonis Stevenson was to Sakoa Bika. You can click, and then Sakoa Bika didn't even make weight on the first try if you didn't know. But I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. What else? Oh, let's talk about the event. Something strange happened with the WBC belt. I noticed that, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm trying to figure out if I really want to show you or not, because then I'm going to have to turn the TV. I'm a little tired of being lazy. I'm going to have to turn the TV. Then I'm going to have to go to my guide. Then I'm going to go to PBC or CBS, the one that I recorded on DVR. So, I'll just let you see for yourself, and I'll explain it to you the best way I can. So if you notice, put it this way, if you notice, the Premier Boxing Champions doesn't really showcase the titles, or they try to avoid it. And if you don't know what happened with Keith Thurman on the first PBC on NBC card, where Keith Thurman wasn't acknowledged as being the WBA regular champion, even though Floyd Mayweather is the real champion, we saw that at the end of the fight, one of Keith Thurman's henchmen went to try to bring the belt in, and then you saw like this big black dude in this blue, shirt, just start grabbing dude like, no, don't bring that belt in the ring, like as if he had orders, like, listen, don't let them bring that shit in the ring, but with this, we saw something. Now, if I'm correct, shout out to Chip Mitchell over at the Fight Journal. If I'm correct, there's a representative from each sanctioning body at the event. Now, what I saw was Adonis Stevenson didn't come out with the belt on, but listen to this. The WBC title, though, for rounds 1 and I believe 2, was right there, like on the apron, like as a display, right there in camera shot, like almost subliminally letting people know this is a WBC title, fight. And even at the end, one of Adonis Stevenson guys, I guess, got past security, or I don't know, and gave Adonis Stevenson shirt. But there's no way to hide that Adonis Stevenson has been ordered by the WBC to defend his title against Sergey Kovalev. So like I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that was actually the case. What I just explained, but I was saying, it just looked a little peculiar. Is all. I wonder why people are not able to join. So listen, this is what you do to make things easier for me. I'm gonna go to my Google Plus app on my phone, and what it is if you send me a message on Google Plus, it's so much easier. It's so much easier for me to add you. It's so much easier. Now, Google Plus, of course, what you do is you type in T Street Controversy into Google, and then you're going to say you're going to see T Street Controversy Google Plus profile. It's easy work. It's easy work. I'm trying to show you what it looks like. I'm trying to show you what it looks like. See? So let me see if I can. I don't think you can be able to see it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to show you. But basically, this is what my Google I can't see it. Well, you can't see it. It's a little. There you go. That's what it looks like. So therefore, what I would do is, you see, that little icon on the other side to where it says T Street. That's where I get to add people. See, that's where I get to add people. So you got to send a request to my Google Plus page right now. I'm trying to figure out why no one's joining it. I know it's a little late, and I'm doing this show kind of randomly because right now, if people don't start joining, I'm going to move on in about the next 60 seconds or so, and we're going to talk about something I haven't talked about, which is before we talk about Amir Khan versus Chris Algieri, we're going to talk about the BKB event. We got to get that out of the way. So as I said, if you don't know how to join, right now what I'm doing is I'm checking my notifications so nobody's sending me anything. Send me a link so you can join. Okay, Miguel, I got yours. That's the link, Miguel. That's the link. You're on. How you sent me a message, send me a link on how to join to the link to join. Why is it not letting? Like, is it not letting you guys join? Let me see here. Let me see. Let me see what's going on. So in the meantime, what I am going to do is I'm going to take a little break, and during this little break, I'm going to play some footage from the Danny Garcia Media Day if you have not seen, and I'm going to try to figure out why people aren't able to join. So T Street Controversy Live, please subscribe. Let me see here. This is bright. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? On Saturdays, my schedule is crazy. I do like 24 hours, like literally. So I'm gonna take a couple hours nap after this. I'm gonna be on here for a couple hours. No, probably like another hour and a half. Take a nap, get up, start banging out this paperwork. So everything can be done by Game of Thrones. Mayweather Pacquiao's on the way. So as I said, please take your time and subscribe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you this Danny Garcia media workout. Also, I got some exclusive Danny Garcia, Peter Quillin, Andy Lee, and Lamont Peterson stuff coming. I'm going to have that up tomorrow exclusively from PBC on NBC. As far as, like highlights from, leading up to the fight, all the Rod Salka stuff and everything. So, like I said, give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to see why people can't join. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this, present to everyone. And you can watch this in the meantime until I get back. Yo, Nate, shut your ass up, bitching. Tell my son, that's the problem with T Street. I don't want to see another YouTube video while watching one. He always does this, even if it's a pre-made video. So, Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm T Street Controversy. Once again, we're back. What it was is people couldn't join. It was my fault. I wasn't actually signed in, so I signed in. And now, as you can see, there's one person here. Probably was another person here. But now we can get the show on the road. So as you can see, right now with this fight week, Danny Garcia will be taking on Lamont Peterson in the 143-pound catch weight. And basically, Danny Garcia has said that, yes, he will be. Him and his father have confirmed, actually, that he will be moving up to 147 pounds this year. And it may be as soon as, put it this way, it's looking like he will not be a 140-pounder come August. Now, as far as the Adrian Broner fight is concerned, you can pretty much just basically say that that is not happening. Go look at the videos I have on the channel and confirm for yourself. When you look at why he's fighting for, why he's fighting this catchweight fight, I'm trying to figure out myself. And from what I'm getting from it is, I don't know. They're telling us it was a team decision, and it wasn't because they want to keep the belts or anything like that. To me, now I'm talking from a business. If I'm the manager of a Danny Garcia, and I know he's going to be moving up to 147 pounds, and I got a whole bunch of boxers that are 140-pound boxers, I'm going to think to myself, let me get my guys in position to fight for one of those belts. You see? So I guess what I'm saying is this. I think that Al Haymon just wants to keep those belts in-house. After all, remember, you got a guy that like Adrian Broner who's fighting at 140 pounds. You got a guy like Omar Figueroa who's fighting at 140 pounds. And to me, it just seems as though he's saving it for that. Now, remember, Adrian Broner is like one fight away, maybe even a Victor Postol away from fighting for the 140-pound WBC title. But listen to this. The WBC silver champion is Lucas Matisse. Lucas Matisse is taking on Ruslan Pavodnikov. Now, basically, the winner of that is supposed to get the winner of Terrence Crawford versus Tomas Delorme. But that does not affect Lucas Matisse's WBC silver standing. So basically, if that WBC silver is on the line against Ruslan Pavodnikov, we could very well see the WBC order Adrian Broner versus Victor Postol, Adrian Broner versus Lucas Matisse, Adrian Broner versus Ruslan Pavodnikov, and mix those guys all up any way you want to. So Adrian Broner is supposed to be fighting, if I'm correct, it is June the 20th, if I'm correct, in Cincinnati. I actually may be going to that fight. Well, I don't know yet. I don't actually think I'm going. No, I don't think I may be able to. I may. We'll talk about that at a later date. I can get somebody to that fight. But anyway, moving on. So we don't know if that next fight is going to be a title. We don't know if that next fight is going to be a title fight, because I'm guessing it all depends on what Danny Garcia is going to do. But of course, we all know. Thank you, Al Haymon. We all know Al Haymon has a plan, right? Thank you. But anyway, I'm going to say this. Listen, it's no secret that Danny Garcia is kind of flat-footed. It's not a secret. And when I was watching him, as I'm going to more and more of these media workouts, there's certain things that I'm looking for. Now, as far as power, if you see that the second video I uploaded, when he's on the bag and he's hitting the pads, dude's got some serious power. The power is there, and he is a power puncher. But as far as put it this way, Danny Garcia is a power puncher, pressure fighter, but he does have boxing ability in there. Why? Because we saw it against Lucas Matisse. He can box, and the thing is, that left hook, you can never take it away from him. Like he will crack you when he swings it. So, put it this way, it's awkwardly wildly accurate, if it makes sense, because he'll keep throwing it. Like it'll look like it seems like he's not looking, but in reality, he is looking. It just seems as though he isn't. So when it comes to Lamont Peterson, honestly, and maybe I'm still a little biased against Lamont Peterson, because of the pellets. But at the same time, I'm thinking overall, I don't see him being able to bang because if Matisse knocked him out, I'm thinking how many punches can he take from Danny? And Danny has body work, and Danny has legitimate body attack, and he's got the left hook upstairs where he can literally break your neck. Look what he did to you know what? I got the highlights here. I had the highlights up. I want to show them to you now. But then again, I'm kind of being a little lazy. I don't feel like going through my files and everything. But yeah, I got the PBC highlights of Danny Garcia and Rosado and stuff. So I may show it. You know what? I'm going to show it. This is actually it's going to be exclusive from Premier Boxing Champions, and basically I want you to see what pretty much, I'm pretty sure, I haven't got a chance to watch all of it yet as far as the footage, but I'm pretty sure they were focusing a lot on the left hand, and also the Rosado fight, which was his last fight, and of course he still got cherries everywhere. But then again, I'm gonna tell you, I did look around the arena. I mean, not the arena, the gym. There wasn't any cherries around, but they did sell cherry Coke. They had a nice little vending machine in there, and if it was me personally, I wouldn't have no cherry Coke in the vending machine. I wouldn't have no cherry Coke in the vending machine. Nice vending machine, one of the newer ones. Danny Garcia's gym. It's a gym. It's a car wash detailer and a barbershop. It's a very, very, very nice. Put it this way: the grounds are nice. The facility is nice. And you can tell just by looking at it, it's a brand new. Now, where is this crap at? I'm not gonna call it crap. Thank you, PBC. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think I'm going to be able to play it. And it's probably because I don't even know what I did with it. I don't even know where I downloaded it to. Well, anyway, I'm going to have, we know it's fight week, so basically what I'm saying is I'm going to have the Danny Garcia footage up, the highlights from Rosado, and basically his fights on Showtime. Up within the next 24 hours. I was going to show you guys here, but maybe because I'm tired and I'm trying to look through all these files, I literally can't find where I downloaded it to, and I don't feel like typing it in to find it. So until then, until I get them uploaded, you are just going to have to wait. Where is it at? There it is. I found it. So give me a couple of minutes to upload this. I mean, not upload this, to open this, and we're going to see if we can get you a little bit of a sneak peek here. Oh, by the way, it's a little late. It's so many different topics. As I said, we got to talk about. Of course, Amir Khan and Chris Algieri. I got a lot of inside information on that. Of course, we got to talk about what's going on with Mayweather Pacquiao of all things. Hold on. Let me get these. Give me 1 minute. All right, here we go. Let me play this footage for you guys real quick. I just got this from Showtime yesterday. Going to have it uploaded. See, it's HD, so it may be. I'm hoping it's not too laggy because it's a really big file that I'm going to be streaming, but let's try it out. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to play this. Yeah, yeah. Wait, you're gonna have to wait till I upload it. I'm gonna have it up sometime within the 12 hours. The file is HD, so it's 2-bit, and plus it's the raw file. I gotta edit all of it and everything like that. So you're just gonna have to wait. I don't hear your mic. I don't hear your mic. So you good? But anyway, yeah. So it looks like Danny Garcia is moving up to 147 pounds, and honestly, I'm kind of wondering now. If he moved to 147, he would be kind of a smaller 147 guy now. Even though it's tough for him to make 140 pounds, he wouldn't be a guy, in my opinion, as of yet, that would be weighing in, exactly at 147. I just don't think so, because even when he's fighting at 140, he was coming into the ring at like 148, 147, something like that. So, I'm trying to figure out how he would really fare at 147 pounds. But let's not forget, he has fought over, before he won his title, he has fought over 140 pounds before. A lot of people forget that, or they don't really recognize that. But it's not saying I'm not giving Lamont Peterson a chance. It's just that Lamont Peterson's chance is to not get knocked out. Simple as that, especially the fact that he's been put down multiple times in his career, and he has been knocked out, so he could beat Danny Garcia off of pressure, and off of, for example, pressure and throwing more punches, activity. But as far as power, he don't want to go toe-to-toe with Danny, and I don't care what you think about Danny Garcia with the Mauricio Herrera Rod Soka. You don't like a guy like Danny Garcia, you don't want to trade with. Because, after a while, he'll put his head down and just start throwing everything, and then he throws his whole body into his punches, as I was saying earlier. On the undercard, you're going to be having Andy Lee defending his WBO title against Peter Quillin. I also got that stuff, too, I'm going to be uploading. And I'm actually looking forward to that fight. If you don't know who Andy Lee is a very exciting fighter. Andy Lee, as I've said in many videos, he reminds me of a video game, because what it is once his energy gets low, once his energy bar gets low, gets past the yellow and it gets to the red, it starts flashing. So then he can do his special move. His special move is that right hand. And if you're not careful, he will right hook the shit out of you. I'm talking like that. You can't take, Andy Lee, he's a guy, if he's right there, and you think you're going to finish him off, he will knock your fucking head off, for real. So no matter what you think about Andy Lee, as far as, when it came to John Jackson, the guy that he fought on, what undercard was that? It was Cotto. It was Cotto versus Martinez versus Cotto. John Jackson was whooping his ass, and then what? He knocked him out, put dude straight to sleep. We saw what happened with Matvey Korobov. Matvey Korobov, a very highly experienced, very decorated amateur background. He was outboxing Andy Lee. What did Andy Lee do? Just right hook him. When it came to the Brian Vera fight, he was catching him. When it came to the Chavez Jr. fight, he was catching him. But, as I said, Andy Lee is one of the type of guys that he'll be getting his ass up the whole fight, but you can never count him out because he will knock you out. Now, how's he going to do against a Peter Quillin? Right now, Peter Quillin's got a lot of beef. Me, personally, I look at it like this. I didn't like the fact that he dropped this title, but now it's like, I can't be bitching and complaining and be mad because he is fighting for it again. And I know why he dropped the title, even though I don't believe no fighter in no way, shape, or form should be dropping no title, and that part is unforgivable. But at the same time, I do have to admit, I like the way he handled it. And for some, and if you listen to Peter Quillin, if you watch his interviews and everything, he's a pretty classy dude. He don't talk too much shit. Like, even when he fought Lucas Konieczny, wasn't that his last fight? His last fight was Lucas Konieczny. Yeah, that was last year. So even when he fought Lucas Konieczny, he was getting booed, and he was just, some cool shit. Like, I don't know why the fans are booing me. I come out here, and I put on a good show, and I entertain the fans and everything. And I'm thinking he does have a little bit of a point. But also, now this is going to mess a whole lot of people's heads up. Also, from watching that Martin Murray fight, from watching the Daniel Gill fight, even though they both got beat down bad, I believe that if you put someone in there that has enough power behind their punches, that Golovkin may be vulnerable. As far as Peter Quillin has accurate hands. Now, I know fans are pissed off that he dropped his belt. I know fans are pissed off he didn't rematch Gabriel Rosado. I know they're pissed off he fought Lucas Konieczny. I understand that. But I'm thinking to myself, the only thing that really concerns me about Peter Quillin against Golovkin is those skinny-ass legs, man. That's it. That's the only thing that really concerns me, is how he holds up under the bodywork of Golovkin. But when you're talking about power, and someone, when you look at Golovkin's record as far as his resume, when you look at someone that will be able in a 160-pound division to give Golovkin something to think about, to maybe, now the key word is maybe maybe slow down the progression and the onslaught of Golovkin, maybe that person may have a chance to win. And when it comes to the hand speed, punch variety, and accuracy, Peter Quillin is pretty good, even though he is untested. You know, right there is pretty good. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does against Andy Lee. And by the way, Andy Lee is his biggest fight by far. You know, you can't count Winky Wright, of course. So you know, you don't want to count that. So I am interested in seeing that fight, and also the winner of that will be fighting Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders is going to be taking on I don't even know who he's fighting. His opponent hasn't been announced yet. I don't think. He may be defending his EBU title, his European. I forgot what it is. This is European British University title, something. I forgot what it's called. I'm not being disrespectful, but I forgot what the belt's called. But yeah, you know, he may be defending that over there, which is a pretty prestigious belt over there. Anyway, and what else? You're going to have Errol Spence fighting, Errol Spence Jr. I forgot who else is fighting on the card. But overall, I'm actually going to be looking forward to watching that because I want to see if this card will do better than the PBC on NBC with Keith Thurman and Robert Guerrero. And remember, we had that, you know, somewhat of a bad fight, well, to me, because of John Molina. You know, the Adrian Broner versus John Molina, that wasn't a good way to start off the premiere of PBC on NBC. And that may be one of the reasons why Adrian Broner's next fight is on NBC Sports. I didn't know that, did you? The Cincinnati is supposed to be, from my understanding, on NBC Sports and not regular NBC, and that's not national television. It is cable, just like fighting on ESPN or Fox Sports or something like that. It's just that you got the fancy smancy. Thank you, Al Haymon. Yeah, I think you've been blessing me lately, yo. I think you've been blessing me. Like, ever since I hung that picture up, yo, and he's been looking upon me, yo, everything just been going good. You know, I'm gonna get a bigger one. I'm gonna get a big ass blown up, and what it is I'm gonna get like a painting, and I'm gonna have him like sitting on a throne, like watching over me when I do my videos and shit. I'm dead ass serious. I'm gonna get real outrageous with it, yo. Get thank you, Al Haymon, like on my neck. Joking. Anyway, I guess it's a good time to move on to Mr. Amir Khan versus Chris Algieri. I actually did the video like 3 days ago and just never like published it or anything. I'm going to do another one. So therefore, this is actually my first time really addressing it on the solo. I did a video with Be Real TV, and you know he's pretty cool with Amir Khan. And me, I'll tell y'all some shit right here, right now. I'm not going to be sucking I don't suck no dick. So let's get that out. Let's get that out the way right now. People are gonna say shit like, "Oh, because you would Be Real TV now, you're gonna be all Amir Khan." No, y'all got the wrong motherfucker. It's not me. It's not. Don't bring that. It's not me. It's not me. Don't ever get that twisted. You know. So as far as why he's fighting Chris Algieri, I know why he's fighting Chris Algieri. You know why? It's because he don't give a fuck what none of us think. He knows that he's got that WBC silver. He knows that Thank You, Al Haymon promised him. You're going to get the winner of Mayweather or Pacquiao. Remember, he already been chasing Mayweather for God knows how long, lying and shit to my contract was signed like last year. He met Manny Pacquiao early this year. So realistically, think about it. After Mayweather Pacquiao, if either of those guys continue to fight, Amir Khan would be a good opponent for them. And guess what? Amir Khan knows it. Now, you should know. Of course you don't. If you don't, type in Al Haymon contract. And guess what? Guess who pops up? Yours truly, and it's here on the channel. And when you read that contract, you're going to learn that fighters, they have some say, but put it this way: as an advisor, manager, you know, like being a manager is different from being an advisor. When you're an advisor, it means you're a boss, because what it is you advise people not to do shit, but really you telling them not to do it. Like for example, right? For example, Adrian Broner wanting to fight Marcos Maidana again. Al Haymon was like, I advise you not to fight him again. And then he's like, well, I'm the can man. He's like, all right, I already advised you not to fight him. And he just make him fight Mayweather. You know, he makes him fight Mayweather. So he advised you, basically telling you, listen, I advise you not to take that fight. So I'm thinking to myself, well, what is the real logic behind Chris Algieri? And then the goddamn son of a bitch, I don't think Peter Quillin wins like easy. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know if he wins. That's the part I'm confused on. Because remember, he does have inactivity, and also Peter Quillin, if you didn't notice, he blew up in weight a little bit. Now he did have a baby, okay, but he blew up in weight a little bit. But see, y'all made me forget what the fuck I was talking about. What was I talking about? What fight was I talking about, man? You know what that's from? That's from like when I was partying every day, drinking and everything. That shit really fucks with your memory, man. That shit really be fucking with me. Because look, I watch like all fights, you know, and a lot of times I be forgetting I cover the fights. And then I think, oh yeah, I did watch that fight. You know, I really be forgetting. My mind be fucked up. I can't, you know, like Khan Algieri. We got Khan Algieri. So I'm trying to figure out like what's the logic behind him fighting like Chris Algieri. Now we know Chris Algieri only got 8 KOs. So therefore, you know that delicate chin of Khan's is safe. Also, Chris Algieri does not have the brawl. He's not like I want to see Amir Khan fight someone who can punch him. I want to see Amir Khan fight somebody who's going to chase him around the ring. You know Chris Algieri going to do his little, you know, and then you know all that shit. You know, like all that bullshit. You know, I can believe that. Yo, you're gonna let me talk about Khan versus Algieri because then you're gonna confuse me. You know, and then you know like Chris Algieri, he get hit. He wanna be doing backflips and shit, rolling all around. You know, and it's like, how can you fight a fighter? Like for example, like we all know the joke that's going around, and I'm thinking to myself, how can Amir Khan be fighting a fighter where he's not even out the cage? I mean, come on, you know I had to bring it up. It's like we don't know. Like Chris Algieri was supposed to have like a tune-up fight to let fans know he was out the cage. Now he's going into another star fight, and we don't know what he's bringing to the table. Why do you think Showtime did not pick up the fight? They don't know if he's out the cage. So why would you invest in a motherfucker who caged? I'm not invested. Like I'm like, what can I do with it? He caged up. What can you do with Chris Algieri? Like what can you do? We don't know. You know, like I don't know. Khan versus Algieri is a chess match. We know. Listen, Amir Khan is too fast and he may stop, and I think that's what he's going for. Because listen, since Manny Pacquiao knocked him down 6 times, Amir Khan is figuring I got to go out here and stop him. Probably going to stop him. I want to give Chris Algieri a chance, but if Chris Algieri maybe had the punch variety, he, you know, for one, I don't trust Chris Algieri. You know why? It's because you're a fucking avocado and toast eating fucking master nutritionist that can't make weight. So it's hard for a guy like me. You know, I like to keep the shit real. It's hard for a guy like me to trust a guy who you're a master. Okay, let me calm down because I get emotional about this. Because remember, I was so pissed off when he didn't make weight. I was hot. Because it's like, you're a master nutritionist, right? Master nutritionist. I'm following his Instagram and everything, and I hate guacamole. I can't stand it. I can't stand guacamole. I can't stand avocados. I don't like that little fucking, what is that little nut on the inside? What the fuck that shit is? And I see him spreading his avocado, shit, all on his fucking toast, on HBO 24/7 in his fucking parents' basement next to a water heater. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this motherfucker ain't make weight. Like, and you know, cause like it's just like how don't you make weight? And you the master nutritionist, and you got avocados for days. I was pissed because he tried to make us think avocados was just so super healthy. And it's like, realistically, it's like, yo, I found out from some real master nutritionists that avocado shit ain't like that. That avocado shit ain't like that for real. But anyway, I just like, you know, and now we don't even know like what network it's going to be on. You know, because Showtime is like, we don't want to see that shit. You know, what is Chris Algieri? Pacquiao, the only reason why Pacquiao, because people say I never addressed this. The only reason why Pacquiao got away with it is because his money wasn't affected because it was in Macau, And also, Chris Algieri was undefeated. And at that point in time, now, if you don't know, it should start making a little more sense to you that despite what you may think, Showtime and those executives knew that they were going to make that Mayweather-Pacquiao fight this year. They knew they were going to make it. They wanted Juan Manuel Marquez again, meaning Manny Pacquiao's team. They wanted Juan Manuel Marquez again. He didn't want the fight, so they said, all right, well, let's get this fucking Chris Algieri guy right now and then go straight after Mayweather. You know, so in a way, they wanted to protect Manny Pacquiao's chin too. You know, in a way, they wanted to protect his chin too, to make sure they didn't miss out on that super fight. Because if he would have lost to if he would have no Converse Bradley not next. It's he turned it down, I believe. No, and also remember if Timothy Bradley fights Brundage and wins that 154-pound title, he's going to stay up there, and that's going to eliminate him from those rankings. You know, I don't know what Timothy Bradley's doing, but Amir Khan is not slick. I know what he's trying to do. He doesn't want to fight Kell Brook for multiple reasons. One of the main reasons is he doesn't want to give Kell Brook a payday. And meaning by a payday is that he feels that he feels that he's so much above Kell Brook, and he knows that he can make Kell Brook pretty much an instant millionaire. You know, so for some reason he just don't want to put food on Kell Brook's table. And also, can you imagine the humiliation and embarrassment if like for Amir Khan, you know, if he was to lose to Kell Brook. Now I got the scoop. I know the scoop. Amir Khan is not loved over there like you would think. Why do you think he was fighting over here? You know, why do you think he be always over here training and shit? You know, so if he was to lose to Kell Brook over there, especially if he gets knocked out, my God, it's over for him. It's over for him. Well, for one, Amir Khan is not liked because I hear he has a bad attitude. You know, as far as like cockiness. You know, like he don't never seem to be humble. And right now we're looking at it like we're seeing it ourselves. Like he know he shouldn't be fighting on Chris Algieri. We're seeing it ourselves. And also, you know, all the times he's been knocked down and not like him not fighting Lamont Peterson again. Okay, all right, Lamont Peterson was juicing, okay, but you're not fighting Danny Garcia again. This is like, yo, why? And then when you got Julio Diaz knocking you around the ring, and then when you don't rematch Brutus Prescott had him laying there like, remember, go look at the picture of him knocked out. He just sitting there like in the corner of his neck, and his neck like this. Like, you got to rematch somebody like that, man. When somebody knock you out like that, you got to rematch them. Especially when Danny Garcia had him all scarecrowing, you know, I can't, you know, and it's not that I don't like Amir Khan. Like he put on as they call over in the UK a master class against Devin Alexander. His hands, he's got to be probably the fastest. Now go back and watch the fight again. One of the fastest, if not the fastest, 147-pounder. In my opinion, his hands are faster than Pacquiao. You know, like he was hitting Devin Alexander from everywhere and getting out of there, but yet he doesn't want to test himself. Now, in his heart, he really feels he can beat Mayweather. He really feels he can beat Pacquiao in his heart. But at the same time, it's like you're going to keep, you know, like destroying like your reputation and taking this scrutiny from the fans, you know, because you don't want to take a tougher test. You want to just keep waiting for Mayweather and fighting. Like, you know, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's almost like somewhat similar to what's going on with Miguel Cotto, because fans are pissed at him because it's like, yo, this is not the warrior, you know, we fell in love with him not fighting GGG. I guess we're going to go to that next then, you know, since I'm going to be here for about another half an hour or so. I had the interview with Toriano Johnson. If you didn't listen to it, then go listen to it. You'll find out a lot. We were talking about the WBC. We were talking about the Miguel Cotto situation. If you don't know, Miguel Cotto was very close to fighting a guy by the name of Jorge Sebastian Highland. He's an Argentine fighter. You don't know him very much, but the reason why I believe that he's fighting him is because Jorge Highland is not a full-blown 160-pounder. Don't get me wrong. He's fought majority of his career at 100. Yeah, I'm saying And Khan will first know he wasn't Floyd. No, Khan knows he's getting Floyd though. Khan knows, like, you know, Khan knows he's getting Floyd. You know, remember, Haymon is the type of guy he'll tell you some shit like, listen, I'm going to get you to fight. I'm going to get you to fight. You know, and he will get you to fight. And Khan has been, come May the 3rd, Khan will be 1 year WBC mandatory. You know, so the whole plan is the WBC has really been manipulating using their power to make Mayweather Pacquiao. You know, especially after Mauricio Suleiman, the son, took over. Khan don't fight in September. No. It's June this year. Ramadan is different sometimes. So, you know, Khan can fight in June this year, if I'm correct. I mean, no, he can fight in September. He can't fight in June. You know, so yeah, Khan will be able to fight. But what I've noticed is he knows he's going to get a title shot. And right now, as long as he holds on to that WBC silver, and also he's fighting a guy like Chris Algieri, who did fight Pacquiao in the last pay-per-view, he can sell that. But at the same time, fans, you know, to the point where, Showtime is like, we're not picking that fight up. And also Showtime may be a little bitter because of the whole contract situation. You know, you never know. And it's not, put it this way, I guess Showtime doesn't want to get into that habit of you know, how HBO used to be, as far as, you know, keep showing like these completely overmatched fights. They want Amir Khan to be in a big fight. They know he's waiting for Mayweather, but they want him to be in a big fight before then. And honestly, in my personal opinion, you know, like, if he's going to be fighting the winner of Mayweather Pacquiao, he should have a big fight going into Mayweather versus Pacquiao, not Chris Algieri. You know, like, you want to fight, you know, the winner of the biggest fight in history, and you want to fight Chris Algieri? Like, that shit's not cool. You know, like, it's just not cool. You know, it's just like snake shit. The contract is looking like $50 million plus. But see, here's the thing: it's $50 million plus, but it does things that Top Rank would never be able to do. For example, Rock Nation with Jay-Z and everything. That, like, Miguel Cotto is promoting concerts and everything too. So what Rock Nation is allowing Cotto to do is Cotto can make money outside of boxing, you know, as well. To whereas with Top Rank, he had to make money, you know, like he had to fight to make money, you know. To whereas when he worked with Rock Nation, they help Cotto in so many different ways, and also Cotto has his own stable of fighters, you know, which is now, you know, going to be fighting pretty much on Rock Nation cards. And, you know, they can start putting on, you know, little small cards in New York, as far as, you know, Miguel Cotto's Puerto Rican fighters and everything like that. So put it this way, I agree with what Miguel Cotto did. Now, my understanding is that Cotto wanted Floyd Mayweather. Now, if that is true, I'm thinking to myself, did he really think that they was going to put him over Pacquiao? You know, Cotto too over Mayweather Pacquiao. You know, and I'm thinking, see, that's why people be saying he a diva. Like, but you know, we don't know if that's true. But if it is true, also, once again, what I was saying earlier is, if you didn't get to check out the Turiano Johnson interview, here's the thing I don't understand. Right now, if you don't know how the WBC works, the WBC is I don't want to. They backwards. Now they're getting better. Now they've been getting better over the last several months, over the last year. They've been getting better. Like, for example, right? You have, like, they will make belts, you know, to try to manipulate certain fights. For example, the diamond belt, right? In any other division, the diamond belt will be the silver belt. The diamond belt is the belt that Lucien Boutte. And the diamond belt is the belt that Lucien Boutte and Jean Pascal fought for. But yet they have a silver champion. And then you have Adonis Stevenson, who's the WBC champion. But then when you go to the 160-pound division, right, you have Miguel Cotto, who's the WBC champion. You have an interim champion. Now remember, there's an interim champion in only about a few divisions, maybe like two. And then you have Turiano Johnson, who's the silver champion. And then before I go any further, remember, Amir Khan is a silver champion. Anthony Mundine is a silver champion. Lucas Matisse is a silver champion. George Groves is a silver champion. Deontay Wilder was a silver champion. Mike Perez and Alexander Povetkin are fighting for the silver championship. But now I'm thinking to myself, well, Cotto is going to be fighting, or allegedly supposed to be fighting Jorge Highland. Jorge Highland is ranked behind Turiano Johnson. So let me tell you the rankings, or as far as the WBC 160 is concerned. You got Cotto, you got Golovkin, you got Turiano Johnson, and then you got Jorge Highland. So my question is, you're not fighting Golovkin, you're not fighting Turiano Johnson, so you're going to skip over 2 mandatories and fight Jorge Highland? Now, one of the reasons is they're both managed by the same guy, So I can see that as far as a business-wise decision, but at the same time, I've been riding lately for mandatories fighting their mandatories. I really believe, genuinely, that, these days for boxing, mandatories should fight mandatories. We need to get all out of that, especially once Floyd retires, we need to get all out that, he don't bring no money. There's no reason why fighters, for example, guys like Mauricio Herrera, Steve Cunningham, there's no reason why these guys are not getting, they're just due because of their styles and all kind of stuff like that. When it comes to us boxing fans, a lot of times, for our own personal interests, we don't be wanting to see certain people as champions because we don't want them to mess up certain stuff. So when it comes to the WBC, I see what they want to do. I know that they want Cotto versus Golovkin bad. I know that. And if not Cotto versus Golovkin, they want Cotto versus Canelo. Because remember, Canelo, Mexican fighters in general are the golden boys of the WBC. For example, a lot of people don't know. Well, Chavez Jr. was with Top Rank before he signed with Haymon. This was in the fall of last year. The WBC offered out of nowhere. This is a fact. Go look it up. The WBC offered Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. the 168-pound mandatory for Anthony Durrell. They just said, listen, we'll make you the #1 contender. You haven't fought at 168. I mean, you haven't been ranked at 160 or anything. We're just gonna make you the #1 contender. So the WBC to accommodate certain things or certain fighters, I've noticed that they will manipulate certain stuff. But what's going on with the Turiano Johnson thing? It's confusing because Turiano Johnson is a natural 160-pound fighter. In fact, he's 168. Well, put it this way. He's fought at 168. I mean, not the full 168, but he's fought above 160, multiple times. To whereas in Jorge Highland, he's the type of guy where, go check it out. He never weighs in at literally full 150, the 160. He'll weigh in at about, 157 3/4, 158. He's not a naturally big guy. Whereas in Turiano Johnson, he's a big dude. And me personally, that's the reason why I feel Cotto didn't want to fight him. And that's the reason why I feel Cotto don't want to fight Golovkin. I really don't feel that he wants to fight, someone that's bigger. And that's why he wanted to fight Cornelius K9 Bundrich, because that would have gave him a shot at the IBF title. Then he could have said, well, I'm an IBF champion. I'll just drop the 160 title. So, it's a shame, that he's doing this. And I'm thinking to myself, well, where does Rock Nation play into this? Now, in my opinion, right, I first signed a fighter. I first signed a fighter to a big contract. I'm not going to put you in there with a guy that people don't know if you can beat or not for your first fight. Even your second fight, especially when it's all that money on the line. I got to know that I'm going to get a return on the investment, or I got to know that you're going to be able to beat a Canelo, or you're going to be able to beat a Golovkin. Because this is what I would do. Now, it's a shame that WBC is not going to allow it. Now put it this way. They may allow Cotto to not fight Golovkin until maybe next summer sometime if he fights Canelo after Jorge Highland, if it is Jorge Highland. Now, Cotto is a businessman, whether the fans like it or not. He's making some real good moves at this point in his career. Money-wise, and long-term wise, yeah. But as far as this diva-ness with with that 160-pound title. I don't think. See, I mean, what you saying? You think he washed up? Like you think he is washed up, or he could be washed up? Like as far as well, he could be doing worse. I don't think. See, that's the thing. I don't think he washed up, even though he fought. Even though he fought a handicapped, disabled, SSI collected Sergio Martinez. Like even though you still saw that Freddie Rhodes did help him a little bit. He did look sharp, and I really do believe that he does have a chance against Golovkin, because a lot of people have to understand. Even though Cotto may be small at 160 pounds, he's fast at 160. Remember, he's one of the fastest 160 pounds just by default. You know, so he would have to play extreme keep away, and also his power is, put it this way, he'll be able to touch Golovkin as far as punch. He'll be able to hit Golovkin. But my concern is, how does Cotto act or react when Golovkin hits him? You know, because when we see when Cotto goes up against big punchers, you see what happens. He get his face beats him. At this point in time in his career right now,